Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a gorgeous Friday afternoon. There's a children's party happening next door to us, and so if you hear happy little voices, that's what's going on in the background. Possibly not such a happy voice on the witness stand in London in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to be looking at this story that's come from Neil Sean, that Harry allegedly is very anxious about how things are going to go for him in this court case that he's taking against the Sun. They've given him 2 to 4 days on the witness stand to be cross-examined basically by the Sun's counsel. It could go quite badly for him, and as I say, he allegedly is very anxious about it. I have the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table today, mostly for the reading that I'm going to be doing after this one, but I thought, you know what, here is someone who views himself as a bit of a rebel, a bit of a Robin Hood really, who thinks that he's going to hold the British media accountable. He's the only one who can do it. So there's the Rebel Heart, I think. So we're going to have a quick look at this and see how he's feeling. Is he really anxious? And how the lawyers feel he's going to hold up in court. What's going on in terms of preparing him, or how's he handling whatever stress he might be feeling? I just want to know what is going on behind the scenes. Apparently he's being prepared, drilled perhaps, to make him able to answer some quite complicated questions. Something like 30 claims that he's got to be au fait with, be able to speak intelligently about. That's going to test him, I would say. A critical audience as well, not exactly friendly in a court of law, unlike where he normally finds himself with obsequious interviewers who, forelock tugging and all that sort of stuff that seems to go on for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyway, that's where we're heading today. And then we're going to ask, of course, how is he going to hold up under questioning? Is it going to be a brilliant performance by Prince Harry, or is he going to make a bit of a hash of it? Let's find out, or try and find out. And let's remind you, it's tarot, it's for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion or speculation. I just read energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. So let's see what's going on for Harry. And is he nervous? How the lawyers feel about his performance, what's going on behind the scenes, and oh yeah, fear. There we have the card of fear, the moon. Very, very nervous, very. Lots of anxiety about this. I personally don't think that he ever saw it getting this far. I think that he thought he would make this claim, he would make the claims that there was a secret deal with the palace to shut him down and keep him from litigating, and the Sun would say, oh, you've caught us out, and here's 50 million quid to go away. And that's the number that has been suggested as a good settlement by a certain Twitter account that might be very close to home, shall we just say, without naming names. The moon, fear, anxiety, projection, worry. There's Mummy Diana in the moon, of course. That's motivating him a lot in what he's doing. But anxiety about how it's going on. It's stuff that you repress and you don't really know that you're reflecting out into the world. Projecting is a better word. Out into the world. So he might be worried that things might just ooze up into consciousness. He might misspeak and say something that gives the game away at some level. He is worried. Whatever else shows up on this tarot table, this is sitting underneath it. So absolutely, Neil Sean with his allegedlys, I will say allegedly, he is quite right about Harry's anxiety. So let's see. Situation that we are dealing with today with Harry. There's the Emperor, the boss energy. strutting into court. Look at me, I'm the Lord of all creation, I rule. You mere peasants, you bow before me, bow and scrape. Vast ego. The emperor is vast ego and sense of entitlement, and not used to taking orders, being told what to do. It might be quite difficult for him to realize that in court is actually the judge who rules in court, not a member of the British monarchy. Well, let's hope that it works like that in the UK. We've got some doubts about that, given the way some of the cases have gone that Harry and Meghan have pursued in British courts. They haven't tried their luck in American courts, interestingly, don't you think? So anyway, there's the boss, there's the ego strutting in. I think we're going to see it's a circus like we saw the previous time when he knocked into that photographer very deliberately, as if to say, you see how they hound me, and then he gave that smirk, that sort of dupe's delight smirk. In my opinion, I think we've got a lot more of that coming our way. So on the surface anyway, he's going to be looking very bolshy, very full of himself, very confident, very arrogant. My opinion. How is he really feeling? We have the moon on the table. How's he really feeling about what's going on? Ooh, Temperance card. He's a bit unhinged by this. Temperance is about equanimity, balance, patience, being in harmony with your world, with your environment, even-tempered, aligned, meditating, calm, all of that lovely stuff. It's in reverse and it's major arcana. This is somebody who's all over the place, erratic, up and down, but extreme in his energy. So he might have very good days when he's up, and then very bad days when he's down, when he fluffs his lines, he can't remember something, he loses his temper. He might be quite angry with the Temperance card in reverse. We've already got nerves on the table here. Fear, worry, anxiety about what might happen, the unknown. The moon is all about the unknown. This is, even though he's been in court before, this is a big one now. It's really a big one, especially being the only one left really, apart from that other guy who's got his own little axe to grind. This is very interesting. We've got 3 major arcana on the table so far, so it's a big deal for Harry. It might be one of the reasons he slunk away from Montecito and holed up allegedly in New York, where there might be some secret toing and froing between lawyers and Harry in New York. Easier from London to New York than from London to California. That's just my suspicion. We might see signs of that in this reading later on. Let's see how the lawyers feel about him. Are they confident in his abilities, or are they thinking, oh dear, what's going on? Page of Wands, no, they think he can do it with the right amount of let's not use the word coaching. Let's use the word encouragement. I think that's a better word, don't you? Page, immature energy, young energy, all those books. The Page of Wands doesn't normally have books around them. That would be more the Page of Swords, really. But the Page of Wands in this Rebel Heart Tarot has got all those books. They're loading him with information. It's narrative, though. The Page of Wands is about adventure and excitement, and so they're loading him with stuff that looks like he can say, well, this happened to me when I was out with Chelsea there, and how could it have happened to me unless they'd listened to my phone call with her. It's more narrative and spicy almost, I'm getting, with this Page of Wands, but they sure are loading him with information. You can see it literally here with this artwork. And as I say, this is the tarot deck that insisted on being used today. Haven't used it in a while. And it's always interesting to me when these different cards speak in their artwork, as well as just the card that they are generally. So there's a lot of information in that Page of Wands. They don't doubt him, but they're certainly preparing him with quite a repetitive, insistent energy in that Page of Wands. We need to get you up to speed. Practice, practice, practice. My opinion. So what's going on behind the scenes? How's he handling what does look like quite serious stress? They're doing their bit, the lawyers, and getting him ready as best they can. How is he handling this? What's he doing to handle the stress? We've got the Hanged Man. You might find him doing some mindfulness practices, meditation, even a bit of yoga, something like that. Something to take the edge off with the Hanged Man. I do have to say that the Hanged Man is Neptunian energy, and Neptune rules some quite interesting energy in astrology, and therefore also in tarot. Depression, delusion, disappointment, disillusion, drugs. So you could pick your way through some of those words and maybe come to a conclusion about how he might be handling things. It's changed perspective, the Hanged Man, while he's in limbo waiting. It's a very interesting energy because it's also major arcana. We've got major arcana everywhere except the lawyers, who are busy preparing him. So the Hanged Man is victim energy and powerlessness and hanging around, literally waiting for something to happen. He's feeling, while he's waiting, he's feeling quite powerless, quite uncomfortable. It's the hanging upside down energy in the Hanged Man that is interesting, because you're supposed to gain a different perspective, and one of the ways you can gain a different perspective is one of those Neptunian ways, through possibly substances. Just saying. He's got a known history, and the energy for me as an energy reader is coming through quite strongly in this reading. So whether it's prescription or not, that kind of thing, I don't know. I can only tell you what energy is coming through. Very powerful Neptunian energy, and he is very, very uncomfortable right now. It's sitting, that Hanged Man, under the Emperor. So for all the bravado and all the boastfulness in that interview he gave just a week or so ago in New York, he really is sweating behind the scenes. How's it going to go? Is he going to breeze through it with aplomb, and everyone's going to say, wow, he really is much more of a fast thinker than we thought. He can think on his feet, he can respond, he knows his stuff, he comes across well. Is it going to go like that, or is it not going to go like that? Let's see. How's it going to go? Knight of Wands, he's going to brazen his way through it with quite a lot of fire. You see, they're already prepping him, Page of Wands, and then it goes up to Knight of Wands. So he's in his Prince Harry energy, the redhead, quite fiery. I think there might be some quite fiery exchanges from him, between him and Council, when it gets down to it, of quite aggressive clapbacks. They might not have much substance, because a Knight of Wands isn't someone with much substance. So they certainly have got swagger and arrogance and temper. They're quite hot-headed. So I think there are going to be moments where some real accusations are flung out, which come from these little stories that are being prepped over here, that might grow a bit larger while he's on the witness stand, and he might make some quite radical accusations. He might make some quite destructive, almost. That's the word that's coming through. Quite destructive accusations. He's not going to disgrace himself. He's not going to disgrace himself. They're working hard to make sure he doesn't. These lawyers over here. He's very worried. He's very, very worried. The worry is here. It's sitting under the Temperance card in reverse, that he loses his cool. in court. They provoke him and he loses his cool, and he blows a fuse in court. I think he has got, allegedly, a very volatile temper, and he might struggle to keep it together in court under that intense provocation over a course of days, where he's got to stay pretty sober and present himself there every day in a certain mental state. That's what's going to be difficult. But no disgrace here, no disgrace. I don't think lightning's going to strike and it's going to be all over. But I do think we're going to see real flashes of temper, aggression. I don't think it's necessarily going to do him a disservice. Let's ask the temper. Is it, because I keep coming back to temper, is it going to serve him or be a disservice? Because his temper is really coming through. Temperance card in reverse and the Knight of Wands. You have to reach a conclusion of temper. So is it going to go over the top, or are people going to think, wow, he's just a man on a mission, and feel quite a lot of sympathy towards him? So how's the temper thing going to play out? What I'm seeing as temper, this is me reading energy, and we have to chuck in the famous allegedly at this point, because I'm seeing that there might be some temper here. Got the Lovers, and again it's that Chelsea thing, I think, showed up yesterday. I think it was yesterday's reading, the Lovers, that he really is going to, that's where he's going to get agitated. He's going to get agitated when it comes to Chelsea. And people might have some sympathy for him. If this is what he believes, that the phone hacking and whatever else that he claims the press did caused the disintegration of his relationship with Chelsea, people will see it possibly and have some sympathy for it, but they might also look at the temper and think, well, no wonder that relationship didn't prosper if that's how he reacts under pressure. This is, of course, my speculation, and we don't have much time to wait before we get to see Harry in action on the witness stand, and it will be very interesting to see how it goes. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.